Hi, this is Dave, Fell Running Guide, and welcome to another navigation task. In this one it's about route planning, and what you've got to do is plan the best way of getting from here at A to these ponds at B. So what's the best way of doing that? Well, there's quite a few different options. I'm just going to show you a few of those, and I'm using Anquet map software for this. I'll post a link at the end of the video as well for that. So what have we got? We're looking for ponds on a plateau, and there are paths leading close to them but not directly to them. So there's a few different ways that we could get there. So some people have suggested that we may go along the Pennine Way and then up these paths here and in. So we could do that. Let's just try that. So along the Pennine Way, into this point here, then steeply up the hillside, following the zigzags to this point here where the path bends, and then going from there. So that's one way of doing it. Distance for that, as we can see here, is 2.75 kilometers, and estimating that's going to take us 26 minutes. So that's one option. It's certainly safe. It will get us there. This path may or may not be on the ground, but it will certainly get us quite close. But it's a long way round. Could we go shorter than that? Well, some people have suggested that we could do something similar, going along here round Broadley Bank, and then instead of following the Pennine Way, find this wall here, follow the wall up to the junction there, and then take a compass bearing from this point to the pond. Now that's good and safe, but what happens if we get to this wall? It's 5-foot high dry stone wall and we're on the wrong side of it and there's no way of getting over. We don't really want to be clambering over people's walls. It may well be a broken down wall that's easy to get through, but we can't tell that from this map. So we could do that. That gives us a slightly shorter route, just over 2 kilometers, and slightly less time, only 20 minutes as opposed to 26 minutes. So that might work. Any other options? Well, some people also suggested that what we might do is take this permissive footpath up these paths here and get to this point here, this wall junction, and from there we've got a few options. We could actually go in a straight line on a compass bearing. The trouble with that is we're going for quite a distance uphill, probably on rough ground, and it's going to be difficult to follow a compass bearing over that type of terrain. But if we did it, we can see that that is even shorter. That's only 1.6 kilometers in 18 minutes. Variations on that theme would be, rather than to go straight across to the pond, we could actually come down this wall this isn't quite what I wanted there. Come down that wall to this junction here and take a bearing in from there. So that is a possible option, just slightly longer, but it gives us a known point to aim for the ponds for, that attack point there. Even other options are to follow the same kind of line up here to there, and then up to this wall corner there, and then follow a bearing in that direction, so we're walking on flat ground and not having to try and follow a bearing uphill. So that is a possible option, and we'll note that that's 1.9 kilometers and 19 minutes. So some of these are quite similar in distance. This one's a bit longer, the first option that you took, 26 minutes and over 2 kilometers. So there's a few different ways of doing it. Things that we've got to be aware of are we want to find an attack point, that is get to a known feature and take a compass bearing in from there, and the shorter the distance from the attack point to the destination, the better. And we also want to think of a catching feature. So what happens if we do walk on a bearing and we overshoot our target? What's going to tell us we've gone too far? Well, if we come in from the north, then if we overshoot the ponds, we'll hit this wall feature. If we're going from this direction, we overshoot, we'll then start to rise and we might hit this path here if it's there on the ground. If we go from this side and we overshoot, then we'll hit the steep ground and start dropping away. So there's lots of different ways of doing it. There's not necessarily any one way that's better than the others. Some are slightly shorter but harder to navigate. So you've got quite a few different options there. The way that we actually did this on a recent navigation course is to take this option there. So we went up, used these wall bound or field boundaries to find out where we were, navigated over to that bend in the wall, and then walked in on a compass bearing there. So that's how we did it. You've obviously got your own ideas, but I hope you learnt something from that. Look out for more navigation challenges.